Hello everyone, welcome back to Ligem classes. So once again we are going to solve some MCQs, and in this lecture we are going to solve MCQs on Nawabs of Bengal. So if you don't want to watch this video but definitely want to solve these MCQs, this is how you do it. So first of all you have to visit ligem.com. So this is the website, and since you are going to work on RRB, so this is the section for RRB General Awareness. You click here, and here you have two choices. One is for the English medium and the second is for the Hindi medium. You click on the English medium. Okay, so here we have RRB GK syllabus. So we have polity, history, geography, science and economy. So we are going with the history because we have Nawabs of Bengal in the history section. Okay, so in the history section itself we have three options: ancient history, medieval history and modern history. So we are just going to click on modern history. Okay, so these are the chapters on modern history. Okay, so we do have a ton of chapters, around 32 of them. Okay, and the best part of Ligem is it is always getting updated. So you may not have to worry that you have to create notes. You don't really have to create notes. Okay, so basically all you have to do is you have to figure out where is our part, that is Nawab of Bengal. So it will come in the chapter 2, Rise of New Kingdoms. So let's explore it. So as you can see, we have the lesson 1 for 6, we have second for Marathas, the Kerala kingdom, the Mysore kingdom, the Nizams of Hyderabad, and the lesson 6 is the lesson number 6 is Nawabs of Bengal. So we are just straight away just going to click on MCQs. Okay. So this is the MCQ page for Nawabs of Bengal. So let's start some MCQs. There are at least I think 20 of them. Let me just check how many are there. Okay, so there are 20 MCQs. So we are going to solve around 20 extant MCQs. So let us do that. Let us solve some MCQs. Now in case if you don't want to solve these MCQs by watching this video but definitely want to solve it your own, all you have to do is just go through the method I have pasted, or I have just entered this link in the description box. You just use the link and just straight away come to this page. Okay, so let's start with the first question. In which battle did Sarfaraz Khan defeated by Alivardi Khan? Now, Sarfaraz Khan was basically the grandson of the founder, that is Murshid Quli Khan. And Sarfaraz Khan was basically a weak, incompetent Nawab of Bengal. He was really a puppet in the hands of few nobles. And that is why an able noble, that is Alivardi Khan, decided to throw him off. And in the battle of Giriya, Sarfaraz Khan was defeated. Okay, it was done by Alivardi Khan, and Alivardi Khan became the next Nawab of Bengal. Okay, when did Alivardi Khan became the Bengal Nawab? So Alivardi Khan became the Nawab of Bengal in 1740. So the correct answer is 1740. Okay, when was Murshid Quli Khan appointed as the governor of Bengal? Now remember this, Murshid Quli Khan was appointed as the governor of Bengal in 1717. Now, during this time, Murshid Quli Khan was actually trying to become an independent ruler. Okay, and he actually started to break off even before the death of Aurangzeb. Aurangzeb was in Deccan during that time. Okay, remember this, Aurangzeb was not a guy to be messed with, but still, Murshid Quli Khan was so able that he decided to break away from the Mughal Empire even when Aurangzeb was alive. Okay, so Aurangzeb was one of the most powerful Mughal ruler, and yet Murshid Quli Khan decided that I'm going to build my own empire, own kingdom. Okay, so the correct answer is 1717. He was actually appointed the governor of Bengal in 1717. So the correct answer is 1717. Who appointed Murshid Quli Khan as the governor of Bengal? So we have a guy called as Dost Muhammad, that is wrong. Muhammad Shah, that can be true. Akbar too, that can be true. And Farooq Zia. So basically these three are later Mughal rulers. Now out of these three, I have a feeling that the correct answer is Muhammad Shah. Let's explore. Let's check. Okay, so I'm just ticking it on Muhammad Shah. Okay, so let's check if our answers are wrong, our answers are right. Okay, when we just finish this exam, you will get a perspective how to solve these MCQs. Okay, who signed the Farman of 1717? Now remember this, Farman of 1717 was signed by Farooq Zia. And this was an important sermon. And because of this sermon, India lost its glory to the British. British was able to capture India. The basic tenets of this farman was the Britishers was able to do commercial activities in parts of Bengal, Bihar and Orissa without paying any tax. Okay, so this farman was one of the reasons why Britishers became the power in India. So the correct answer is it was given by Farooq Siyar. Okay, remember this. Who appointed Murshid Khali Khan as the governor of Bengal? I have a feeling that this answer is wrong. Okay, but still I'm keeping it as option B. The reason is I'm going to show you how this MCQ section is going to work. Okay, so the correct answer in case of fifth is Farooq Siyar. When was Mir Jafar replaced by Mir Qasim as new Bengal Nawab? Now, Mir Qasim was defeated in the Battle of Plassey. Okay, that was 1757. And in 1760, Mir Jafar replaced Mir. I'm sorry, I'm getting it wrong. So basically, Sirajud-Dowla was defeated by Mir Jafar. Let me just explain you better. Let me just take out my pen. Okay, so basically, Sirajud-Dowla was defeated or betrayed by Mir Jafar. Okay, technically he was defeated by the Britishers, and Britishers imposed a guy called as Mir Jafar on the throne of Nawab. Okay, so Mir Jafar became the Nawab of Bengal. That was 1757. Okay, and the Battle of Plassey was fought in 1757. Now, Mir Jafar started behaving a very arrogant fool. He was basically a puppet of the Britishers, but he started to try to be free. He started becoming independent, and the Britishers didn't like it. And he was replaced by his son-in-law, that is Mir Qasim. So Mir Qasim replaced Mir Jafar in 1760. So the correct answer is 1760. So let me just remove this. So the correct answer is 1760. Okay, question 7. Which Bengal Nawab fought the Battle of Plassey? Now, this is something we have discussed. Now, the Battle of Plassey was fought by Siraj-ud-Dowla. Okay, so he had a general called as Mir Jafar. Mir Jafar actually betrayed Siraj-ud-Dowla for the Britishers, and the Britishers defeated Siraj-ud-Dowla. And Siraj-ud-Dowla was later captured and executed under the orders of Mir Jafar himself. And as you know, Mir Jafar was later dethroned or removed from the office by Britishers in 1760 and replaced him with his son-in-law, that is Mir Qasim. And Mir Qasim was defeated again in a battle of Buxar, that is 1764. So the correct answer is which Bengal Nawab fought the Battle of Plassey, that is Siraj-ud-Dowla. So the correct option is option A, Siraj-ud-Dowla. So let me just correct this. Siraj-ud-Dowla. Seventh correct answer is Siraj-ud-Dowla, who divided Bengal into 4 administrative zones. Now, basically, when Murshid Quli Khan, the first Nawab of Bengal, died, he was succeeded by his son, that is Shujauddin. Okay, now Shujauddin was an able ruler, and he basically divided Bengal into 4 administrative zones. And this was helpful because eventually, under Shujauddin, Bengal became a very prosperous state. Okay, so the correct answer is Shujauddin. So let me just mark option C. Okay, what is meant by the term Takavi? Okay, so remember this: when Murshid Quli Khan took the title of the Nawab of Bengal, he tried his best to improve the agriculture of that place. Now, Bengal was definitely one of the richest province in the Mughal Empire, but Murshid Quli Khan went a step further. He decided to create a loan. Okay, he created a loan. Okay, so basically the loan was something like this. So interest-free loan was given to poor, landless farmers. Okay, farmers or cultivators. So this loan was interest-free or very negligible interest. So this agriculture loan was known as Takavi. So basically, the essence was that he wanted to help the poor to become more prosperous. He wanted the agriculture to grow. He wanted overall to make sure that Bengal remains a prosperous state. So the correct answer is agriculture loans. Takavi basically means agriculture loans. Okay, and this experiment was really successful, and it is one of the reason why under Murshid Quli Khan and later by Shujauddin, Bengal actually became a very prosperous state. Okay, who fought the Battle of Buxar? So obviously, we know this, it was Mir Qasim. Now, the events leading to Battle of Buxar is very simple, and let me just explain this again. So, we have Siraj-ud-Dowla. Okay, so his general was Mir Jafar. Okay, Siraj-ud-Dowla fought against the Britishers in the Battle of Plassey, that is 1757. He was betrayed by his general, that is Mir Jafar, and Siraj-ud-Dowla was defeated and later executed. And Mir Jafar became the Nawab of Bengal in 1757. Okay, remember this, 1757, Mir Jafar became the Nawab of Bengal. Later, Mir Jafar tried to be independent from Britishers, and that is why he was removed in 1760, and he was replaced by Mir Qasim, his son-in-law. Okay, so Mir Qasim decided to be free from the Britishers, and in 1764 the Battle of Buxar was fought, and Mir Qasim and the Mughal Emperor, as long with the Nawab of Awadh, they all decided to become a team and tried to defeat the Britishers, but eventually they were all defeated. Mir Qasim escaped and he died in poverty. So the correct answer is Mir Qasim. This was the guy who fought the Battle of Buxar. Okay, so let me just mark Mir Qasim. When was the Battle of Plassey fought? It's a very important question and a very easy question. It's 1757. You have to remember this, 1757. This Nawab agreed to pay 12 lakh annum to Marathas as Chaut to Marathas. Now, from 1740s to 1761, the Marathas were the paramount power in India. The Mughals were not. It was only up to 1712, the Mughals were the paramount power. But after that, their power they slowly started declining. So the paramount power during this time was the Marathas, and everyone was scared of Marathas. Okay, so let me just explain you better. So let me just open the pen once again. Okay. Okay, so let me just draw a map of India. So this is the map of India. So we have Kashmir here, we have Nepal here, we have Bengal, we have Rajasthan, we have Gujarat, and we have the whole South India. Okay, so this is the whole India. Sorry about my map work. I'm really bad at this. Okay, okay. So basically, here was the Mughals. Okay, by 1740 they were only restricted to a small place. Here was the Nawab of Bengal. Okay, and here was Nawab of Awadh. Okay, and this whole area, okay, here is Nawab of Hyderabad, and here is Carnatic states, here is Travancore kingdom. So basically this whole area up to here, basically all of them belong to the Marathas. The Marathas by 1758 actually reached up to Lahore near Attock. Their empire reigned from Attock to Cuttack. That's the name, Attock to Cuttack. Okay, so basically the Marathas gave the choice, either you pay taxes, that is known as Chawat, or your kingdom will be invaded. So the Nawab who agreed to pay 12 lakh annum to Marathas as Chawat is basically Ali Wardi Khan. Okay, so the correct answer is Ali Wardi Khan. It is basically an embarrassment for any ruler to pay Chawat to Marathas. Okay, where was the new capital of Bengal Nawabs located? So earlier, the Bengal Nawabs, okay, when Murshid Quli Khan started as the new Bengal Nawab, he actually had the capital in Dhaka, which was later shifted to Murshidabad. Okay, now one of the reasons why it was shifted to Murshidabad was Murshidabad was was on the banks of River Ganga, and on the banks of River Ganga, many European countries, like especially the East Indian Company, was establishing their bases. So Murshid Quli Khan decided that I should keep an eye on these guys, okay, these foreign European powers. So, and he was actually right. He was actually very smart. He knew that these foreign powers had inferior designs. So that is why he actually established his own capital at Murshidabad. So where he can look at the activities of the Britishers and other foreign European countries, foreign powers. So the correct answer is Murshidabad. When was the Treaty of Alinagar signed? Okay, so basically Alinagar Treaty was signed somewhere before the start of Battle of Plassey. Okay, so Battle of Plassey started in 1757 and the correct answer is 1757. The Treaty of Alinagar was signed in 1761, that is option A. In which stages of Battle of Plassey, in the initial stages of Battle of Plassey, which factory of English was seized by Bengal Nawab? Now, the initial stages of Battle of Plassey, the Nawab simply marched, okay, and without any proper planning or anything, Siraj-ud-Dawla decided to take action against the Britishers, or basically the East Indian Company. And he basically confiscated all the items of a factory, English factory located in Kasim Bazar. Okay, so the correct answer is Kasim Bazar. Who was the second Nawab of Bengal? That is obviously very easy. Okay, so here we have a ton of choices. So the correct answer is Shujauddin. When was the Battle of Buxar fought? Now this is a very important question. Battle of Plassey was fought in 1757, and after 7 years, in 1764, Battle of Buxar was fought. So the correct answer is 1764. Where is Murshidabad located? Now this is something I have told you earlier. Murshidabad is actually located on the banks of river Ganga. Okay, so the correct answer is banks of river Ganga. Munger was made as the new capital of Bengal by this Nawab. So Munger was made the new capital by Mir Qasim. So the earlier capital was Dhaka, which was changed to Murshidabad, and after that it was changed to Munger. And it is one of the reasons why Battle of Buxar was fought, because the English never liked the idea of a new capital being formed in Munger. So the correct answer is Mir Qasim. It was Mir Qasim who shifted the capital from Murshidabad to Munger. Which Nawab converted the Jagir lands of Bengal into Khalisa land? So basically, the idea was that, I hope you know the Jagir system of Mughals. So when a military ruler or a noble, okay, does some exemplary work for the Mughal emperor, he was given the Jagir, or basically the land ownership. Now, when Bengal became an independent state, the Nawab of Bengal decided that there won't be any Jagirs, there won't be any Jagir land. All the land in Bengal will be belong to the Nawab of Bengal. So basically, the correct answer is Murshid Quli Khan. He was the first Nawab of Bengal, and he made the decision that all the lands in Bengal belong to the Nawab. Okay, so it is known as the Khalisa land. Okay, so basically we have solved all 20 of them. Now let me just click on finish and let's check how many of our answers are right. Okay, so one of our answers are wrong. Okay, we obviously know that which answer it is. So let me just scroll down. Okay, okay, so it is showing this as wrong. Okay, who appointed Murshid Quli Khan as the governor of Bengal? Now we had marked it as Muhammad Shah, but the correct answer is Farooq Siyar. So the correct answer is Farooq Siyar. So this was all about the Nawab of Bengal.